Hello everyone and welcome back to the Breakdown Tech. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to start a Bukkit server in Minecraft 1.13. Bukkit has just updated to Minecraft 1.13, so I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to do it and how to get plugins on your server. But first, I want to remind you that this isn't a 24-hour server, and it's not a server that you can publicly post the IP address everywhere online with. The reason for that is it's hosted off of your own internet connection, and if you do that, it's not going to end well. But luckily, I've got a solution for you. Game servers. The breakdown.xyz/MC server, first link down below, will take you over to game servers, where you can get an awesome 24-hour DDoS protected server, where you can give your IP address out to everybody without any worries of your internet being taken down, or, you know, your location being exposed or anything like that. That's awesome. That can happen if your IP address is exposed. But luckily, if you go over to game servers and buy a server over there, that will not be an issue. But if you're okay with that, if this is just for your friends and family, then let's go ahead and jump on into it. So, first things first, we want to go to the second link down below. It's going to take us here where we want to scroll down to the big yellow download Bukkit button. Click on that. It will take us over to CraftBukkit here, where we want to download right next to version 1.13. Now we want to click on the download button in between all of the ads here, and there it goes in the bottom left. You'll most likely have to keep this file. Don't worry, I promise it is 100% safe. If it ever finishes downloading there, give me one. There it goes, it finished downloading. Now we want to just click keep. I promise it's safe. It's been downloaded by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. For me, this is immediately on my desktop. If yours isn't on your desktop, simply hit the Windows key and R at the exact same time. Type in downloads exactly like that and hit enter. It will open up your downloads folder where you'll most likely find this. Drag it to your desktop just for ease of use. Now we want to go ahead and right click and create a new folder on our desktop. We're going to title this Bukkit server because we might as well. Then we're going to go ahead and drag CraftBukkit-1.13 over into our Bukkit server folder. Now we want to go ahead and double click on this, and it should go ahead and open up our EULA and load things and do stuff and make things work, basically. If yours doesn't do that, right? If yours doesn't do anything, no worries. One, wait a second, because this is going to take a lot longer than you most likely expect. But if it doesn't do anything, see, there we go. I knew it was working, but it's going to take a lot longer than you expect. But if it doesn't work, let's say you wait 5 minutes and it doesn't work, you can right-click on it and then go to Open with Java TM Platform SC Binary. If you don't have that, you need to download the Java Sdk, which is the third link down below. Just go on there and download it for, Windows 86 or whatever version of Windows you have, and you'll be good to go. Nevertheless, once you've got that loaded up, go ahead, double-click on EULA here. Change EULA equals false to EULA equals true, TRUE, assuming that you agree to Minecraft's EULA right here. Go ahead, copy that into your browser, go over there and check it out. I've already read it. I know that this server is going to comply, so we're okay. Go ahead and click File, Save. Now we can close out of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and double click on the CraftBukkit.1.13 just so it'll load everything else up, generate worlds and stuff like that. Now, this will be the last time you ever click on that, just so you know. You're never going to click on that again. We're going to create a run.bat file. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go down to the description down below. Boom, all that stuff ported in there. We're going to go down to the description down below, and you're going to see this right here, right? This little handy code, copy and paste it down there. So this is going to give your server 1 gigabyte of RAM. Let's say you wanted to give it more. You would go up to this number right here, and basically we'll keep upping that. I will include these down in the description for 2 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 6 gigabytes of RAM, and you can figure out any conversions in between that if you want to do it. Nevertheless, let's just go ahead and copy this from the description. Now we want to come back over here. We want to right-click, create a new text document. Right there, see new text document. And then we want to just leave that new text document and double-click on it, right, to open it. It'll open up in Notepad, where we want to go ahead and paste this. Then we want to go to File, Save As, and then we want to title this as just run.bat. Now don't click save yet. You want to come down here and change save type as to all files. Then go ahead and click save. Now we can close out of this Notepad document, and bada bing, bada boom, you now have a run file. You can delete this new text document file here. Go ahead, delete that. Now, just as a precaution, we're going to go ahead, right-click on our Windows bar. Mine's at the top, yours is probably at the bottom. Right-click on it, go over here to Task Manager, and then in Task Manager, you're most likely going to have Java running in some way, shape, or form. Now, I actually don't, which is pretty awesome. But you, actually do, right here, Java SC Binder. As you can see, it's using 2 megabytes or 2 gigabytes of memory, 2,000 megabytes. Right-click on that and end task. That is technically the Bukkit server running in the background where it generated all of these files and stuff. We don't want it to do that anymore. We want to run it with our run file here. So let's go ahead and double-click on this. It's going to open all of this. It's going to say, you know, error, whatever, this build is outdated. That's fine if it says that. Just wait 15 seconds and it will eventually start. Once it starts, it'll go through, it'll say done. Once it says done, you know your server is working for you. But as it sits right now, your friends can't join it, nobody can join it, nothing can be done, all of that stuff. And that kind of sucks if you ask me. So we want to make sure here, once it says, there we go, done, see that? Let's go ahead and type stop, stop. Now as you can see, server is overloaded, can't keep up. That means we're using more megabytes of memory than we have allotted to it, so we could go ahead and up that if we wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now, and there we go. So we typed stop, stop the server, press any key to continue, boom, and now it closes that out. We want to stop the server because we then want to go over here to our Windows button. Yours might be down here in the bottom left. Open this up and then type CMD. Then right-click on CMD, click Run as Administrator. And now in here we want to do ipconfig and hit enter. ipconfig exactly like that, and it's going to open up this information. It's going to have an IPv4 address, and it's going to have a default gateway, subnet mask, all that. But what we're specifically focused on here is our IPv4 address and our default gateway. So let's go ahead and take our default gateway, come back over here to our browser. We're going to open up a brand new tab, and up here in like the place where you would enter the breakdown.xyz, right? That's our website. In that same address bar, you're going to enter your default gateway. So for me, mine was 192.168.1.1. Yours might be something completely different, and if it is, don't freak out. Don't worry. Just type it in up here, okay? Hit enter, and it will open up something that looks similar or completely different to something like this. But what it will most likely open is a login box. If it doesn't open a login box, contact your internet service provider and they'll be able to assist you in figuring out if you can port forward, and if you can, how to do it. So here we are. Let's go ahead and log into it. But what if you don't know your username and password here, and you literally might just get a login box from the top up here? What if you don't know that? Well, no worries. Come over here to our website, which is going to be the fourth link down below, and this is how to find your router's password, right? It gives you different methods. Go down through each of these methods. They're labeled from easiest all the way down to the most difficult one, contacting your ISP, which nobody really wants to do. And when you're done with this, you should be able to find your router's password. So pretty awesome stuff there. But I've already got mine, so let's go ahead and log on into our router. Now, once you're in your router here, what you're going to be doing is looking for port forwarding, right? Now, for me, that's going to be over here. I have a security tab, right? And then I have a apps and gaming tab. And then I click on single port forwarding. Now, for you, you might have virtual servers. I've seen port forwarding called that. You might have port forwarding / port triggering. Yours is most likely in advanced. On Netgear routers, it's in advanced, and then it's in administration again, right? So it's in advanced admin. Look, though, for port forwarding. Don't be afraid to click around. If randomly it asks you if you want to save changes and you don't know what you've done, just say no. You don't want to save the changes to your router, and nothing will be wrong. But don't be afraid to click around here and try to find apps and gaming, and then port forwarding, something like that. Then you should have an external port and an internal port, right? It might be port 1, port 2, something like that, but it should be 2 port options. Then you're going to have a protocol option and an IP option. So for me, I'm going to click add a new single port forward. You might have a different name than that. It might just say add or something, or it might just be a bunch of boxes that you need to fill in, and only fill in 1 line of those, by the way. But for this, we're going to name it just Minecraft Bukkit forward, right? You can name that whatever. It doesn't matter. For our ports, so no matter what they say, right? If it says external port, port 1, whatever it says, Doesn't matter what it says. Just put 25565. For everything that asks for a port, put 25565. For your protocol, you're going to do both, or you're going to do TCP/UDP. You're going to do UDP/TCP. Whatever it says, you're going to want to make sure both of these protocols are selected. Click that. Now for your device IP here, you're going to go over here and enter your IPv4 address. See, mine is 192.168.1.123. Yours may be completely different from that, and if it is, that's okay. But whatever your IPv4 address is, copy it over here. As you can see, 192.168 is already entered for me. It is then .1.123. I'm just going to double check that again. It is correct there. Now we can click Save, Apply, whatever yours says. I have to click Save, and then I have to click Apply, and now the port is forwarded. It's that simple. The hard part's done now, guys. You port forwarded, you're good. From this point on, it's home sailing and easy. If you do have any issues port forwarding, though, we do have a complete guide to port forwarding where it walks you through it a little more in depth than what I just did. You can also come over here and ask any comments about port forwarding, and I do respond. So great stuff there as well. But nevertheless, that is the hardest part of this entire process. Once you've got that done, we're rocking and rolling. Now all we've got to do is minimize our server here, and then we want to come down here to where it says server, right? This should be a properties file under file type. We want to go ahead and double click on it. Mine automatically opens in Notepad. If yours doesn't, you can right click on it, open with. It'll open up this kind of dialog box here. You can click more apps, and Notepad should be in that list. For me, it's not because that's the app it's currently using. But click on Notepad, double click on Notepad, and it will open this right here. We then want to come down to where it says server IP, and then we want to type in 192.168.1.123. That is my IPv4 address. So that is what you are going to put here. Whatever your IPv4 address is over on your command prompt, you're going to put that next to server IP, just like we did in the port forward where we used it for our internal IP. Go ahead and click File, Save on the properties file. Close out of that. Guess what? We can close out of the command prompt as long as you can remember your IPv4 address for later. I'm not good at that, so I'm not going to do it. And now we just want to go ahead and double click on our run file we created earlier, our windows.bat file. I'm also going to go ahead and open up Minecraft 1.13, and we're going to verify that our server is just up. That it's just up and running. That's all we're going to do. Nothing too complicated, nothing too crazy. And the reason we're just doing that is because if it's not up for us, it's not going to be up for our friends or for anyone who wants to join it. So I'm going to go ahead, play Minecraft 1.13 here. And when we get in here, we're just going to go into multiplayer, and we're going to direct connect to our IPv4 address, right? So it's loading up here, and as soon as we're in here, I'll show you exactly how we're going to do this. If you've enjoyed this video though so far, by the way, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really does mean the world to me, so thank you very much for doing that in advance. But here we are on the Minecraft main menu. We're just going to go to multiplayer here. And once we're in here, all we want to do is hit direct connect and type in our IPv4 address. So as again, this is right over here. In my case, 192.168.1.123. Exactly like that. Go ahead and click join server, and then we're in the server, and as you can see over here, it even verifies that, Nix Games. We're going to go ahead and mod myself, so I'm going to type mod Nix Games, OP Nix Games. All right, boom, just like that, and hit enter. Now, if you want to mod yourself, you just type OP, right, and then your username. So if it's like Foxtrot123, OP Foxtrot123, but whatever your username is there. And now we're in this server. So we've confirmed it's up, and we've confirmed we can join it. But what about our friends? Well, to do that, it's pretty simple. Come back over here to our web browser, and this time we're going to go to whatsmyip.com. It's linked down below with everything else. Now, here I can explain, there's a big black box over here on the right-hand side. You can only see the last two numbers, .97 of my IP address. Why is that? Well, it's because over here you'll see your city and your state and all that stuff. Why can you see that? Because, guys, that is what people can get with your IP, and that's why it's important to only give this server out to people you trust and use someone like Game Servers for a 24-hour server that you want to make public and let anyone in the world join, right? Unless you want anyone in the world to know your latitude and longitude coordinates, I would suggest not doing this, guys. But nevertheless, once we're here, we can go ahead and copy our IP address, right? I'm just going to copy it there. Going to open Minecraft back up, right like so. And then you're going to leave this server. I'm also going to open up our run file here so we can see when I join again. I'm going to direct connect, except this time I'm going to go to my IP address, right? My public IP address that I just got at whatsmyip.com. Boom. There we go. It joins in. And again, we can confirm over here that Nick's Games has in fact joined. Awesome stuff. So your server is up and running, but what if you've gotten to this point and your friends can't join? Or what if you've gotten to this point and your IP address, instead of just being numbers, is numbers and letters and it's very long? Well, unfortunately, if your IP address is a bunch of numbers and letters and things like that, currently I'm looking for a solution for this, and I will pin a comment down below if I find one. But there is no way to host a Minecraft server off of an IPv6 address as far as I know. If you have a solution to that, let me know, because I want to help, you know, I mean, tons of people if I can figure that out. But right now, I'm working on it a little bit every day, and I've not been able to figure it out. So I'm sorry if that's the case. However, if you do have your IP address, it's just numbers, and it's just, you know, that same format that we've always used, like 192.168.1.1, that same number format, then most likely there is an issue with your port forward, or an antivirus or firewall is blocking your friend's connections, right? So how you do that is you disable your antiviruses and your firewalls, and it might not just be a firewall on your computer, it could also be one on your router. So look at the security tab on your router, look at the advanced admin tab on your router. There's most likely going to be a firewall there or something like that. We spawned in a snow biome, that's pretty cool. But that is most likely the issue if your friends can't join your server. So yeah, you have a Bukkit server up and running, but what do you do if you can't install, like, what's a Bukkit server good for, basically, if you can't install plugins on it? Well, on your screen right now, there's a video on how to install plugins on this very Bukkit server. So if you want to do that, it will help you do it. Nevertheless, guys, my name is Nick. This has been The Breakdown How To, and I am out, guys. Peace.